Hello, everyone. You are now tuned into Poetically Speaking. I'm your host, Jerica Crawford, and I'm here with my co-host.
It's your boy, hashtag the voice back again.
Alright, so we've been gone for a little bit. So what's been going on with you, hashtag the voice?
Nothing much really. Just writing, getting this mixtape together. Actually, last night I just got hosted the BSU Open Mic Night on Illinois campus, which was very successful. Everybody came out, and Shy Poet made a appearance. So everybody was real hyped about that. So.
Well, yes, I was there as well. It was a very good event. I'm glad I could be there in support of everyone and their talents. Today's show or theme is about a combination of things, determination, ambition, motivation, so it was real positive today. We're trying to encourage our listeners today. So we're going to get started. I'm going to read my first poem, which is called Determination. It's that intangible, invisible thing that forces you to get up in the morning and push past your comfort closer to your dreams. That motivation and momentum that says, I must succeed. That boost of energy that allows you to continue and ignore your feelings. And that voice that tells you can do this, keep going. It's those legs that take walks through the stormy weather. That mindset that says, I can do better. The dismissal of disappointments and rejections. The letting go of those who said things but never followed their intentions. It's that drive to provide and take care of your family. That statement that says, I want to be an improved me. That vision that others are still trying to see. That made-up mind, that long-held belief. It is that power to do beyond your capabilities. That thrust that says no sleep. The vitamin-popping, coffee-drinking readiness to achieve. The testing of your abilities. The race with full speed. It is that deep-seated belief that says, I can do all things. The absence of fears. The will to try even if it means losing. It's determination. The one thing you must keep.
You got straight to the point. You just you're going to find determination off top. Yeah. I mean, we need 5 minutes into the show, you just, this is determination. I need to know it is. I mean, I like that poem. I guess my question to you would be, when did you realize what determination was?
That's a hard question. I don't know. I think you kind of know what it is, like, just off top. Like, I don't think anybody has to explain it to you or I think it's just something. I think I've learned more about it since being in college, because, like, there are a lot of times where, I just don't want to go to class, or I just don't want to do certain things, or maybe I might not want to prepare for what's next. So, yeah, I think I learned more so while being in college.
Okay. I mean, I personally realized my ambition and my determination in late high school, actually. As I realized that, I was good at everything I was doing, that I could have been better. And it took a lot of people to tell me that what I was doing wasn't the best I could do to get up to the pinnacle of what I could be. Because, a lot of my poetry has gotten much better than what it used to be. And I used to think my poetry was just it. And now I really think my poetry is like the top. Because, I'm hashtag the voice. So once I became hashtag the voice, it was kind of over for everybody else that was hating on me. So
Alright, hashtag the voice.
Yeah. I mean, I got a poem too. It's called Unstoppable.
Okay.
My potential is unlimited, my power uninhibited. So give me your respect. I insisted. There's not an obstacle that can stop me, not a person that can top me. Whether you jump on my bandwagon or not, I got me. I'm taking over coast to coast, and I really hate to boast, but I've realized I'm what haters hate most. A young black man that won't be fazed when he's poked, teased, or hazed. I don't follow trends. When they got dreads, I gotta fade. I'm different from my head to my toes. I refuse to be a failure. I got way too many goals. I want to chill when I'm 80. I want them to call me Dr. Scholes. I can't be stopped. Call me Juggernaut. Don't touch me now. I'm way too hot. A person who quits, I'm definitely not. I'm primed and ready to perform. It's time for my reign now. I'm coming through like a storm. This is the death of the old me, but please y'all don't mourn. Cause the new me will be here soon. And I'll break through the clouds like boom. The sky ain't the limit. I see footprints on the moon.
Alright. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Two things I took from that is individualism and, transformation. When I say individualism, basically, being yourself and, not going along with the current trends and whatnot. So how important do you think that is nowadays? Do you think people are more so individualistic in nature, or are there more followers now, do you think?
Well, honestly, I believe people are individualistic, period, because we were born into a world we have to look out for ourselves. So, yes, there's family around, but the family structure these days is not as strong as it used to be. So you basically got to do things on your own and develop an ambition to get what you want on your own. That's all part of the American dream, really, is that you have to get up and, want something bad enough. Barack Obama didn't, wake up one day and just was like, I want to be president. He worked on it his whole life. So, he developed his craft, his talking and speaking skills, his leadership skills, all that, to become the man that he is today, which is the president of our United States. But it's just, you have to look at it like, ain't nobody else gonna do it for me but me. So you gotta get up in the morning and say, look, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm gonna do it. My grandma told me you ain't got no plan unless you write it down. So write it down. To tell the world what you want to do. Make it happen.
Alright. Well, my next poem is called Ambition. I talked about college briefly, and being in college is not for everybody, And once you decide to go there really, and you sure that's where you want to be, there's really no turning back. So this is, about a girl just trying to get through college. Ambition. The weight of her book bag drags her shoulders down a bit, making her stop to adjust with every other step. But her feet still move swift, weaving through the traffic of peers and up the stairs to the class called Success. Focused and ready, she sits at her desk, eyes lighting up as she looks at her test, because she's studied all week and she knows this. Within 20 minutes, she's aced it. Leaving with confidence, she grins, remembering that tests are all a part of the process, and not even they can interfere with her ambition.
Yeah. I like that. Because that tells me a lot about, who you are as a student, who you are as a person. And I just want to know, how do you feel like, does this being in school heighten your ambition, or does it hinder it? Or does it have no effect?
It definitely has an effect. I think it's probably heightened my ambition. Like, since being at UNI, I've imagined myself doing things I never thought I could do, and I wanted to do more for myself. Like, my thoughts and my dreams of before I came to college were so small compared to how they are now because of the college experience. So I definitely think it's only heightened it. And like, as I'm preparing for graduation, like, I'm taking the next step, I'm trying to go to grad school, so it's just elevated it and made it even bigger than before.
Okay. I mean, honestly, for me, being in school, I don't know, it's done a little bit of both. I mean, it's made me want to push harder, but it's also caused me a little bit of lackadaisical attitude, especially those mornings. I'll be like, man, this class is just so easy, I don't have to go.
Yeah.
So, I feel like the best teaching styles or the best learning environment is one where you have to work on your own. And I was told a long time ago that, college is the place where, you pay somebody to teach yourself. Because all they're going to do, all the college professors, I feel like all they're going to do is give you the tools, and it's up to you to use them. So, and learn how to use them the right way, or in the way that you feel, will benefit you the most. And it's heightened my ambition as well, because, I've met people who are just as ambitious as me, who have similar goals and dreams. Especially with me being an entrepreneur, I can't have nothing but my grind got to be on 10 at all times. So, can't never let up. This is the next poem I'm gonna read is a poem I wrote in high school, like around my high school graduation. It's called "The Future Is Now."
Okay.
I've heard that it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday, but I'm here to say that's just not the case. Lately I've been on a chase trying to catch the future, to become more legendary than the Hoosier. But every time I get caught by the present, not realizing that I'm becoming what I am destined. Dreams are real and reality is fake, because our dreams are what we make, while reality is only what others mold it into like clay. We have lived the dream making the world into a better place. It's inception, baby, but from this we will wake. So in my dream I have the heart of a lion, and now that I'm a champion, all the haters crying. See, I made it to the finish line, and as soon as I broke the tape, the trophy was mine. People told me the whole race that I would choke. They believed it because they didn't listen when I spoke. I told them I would win, and that's just what I did. And now I tell this to each and every kid. Your potential is at innumerable sums. So live life fully, for yesterday is past, and you tomorrow never. And you is past you, and tomorrow never comes. All right.
Good. Yeah, these poems are like just full of determination and just pressing forward. But I wanted to ask you, you know, when you're setting goals and you're thinking of the future, does your past kind of influence how you go about pursuing those goals?
Yeah and no. Yeah, because, you know, I look at some of the obstacles that were in my way, and I try my best to not hit those same obstacles again. I often, you know, look back and say, because if you know, if you don't know about the past, you're doomed to relive it. So, you know, I look at I hung out with a lot of upperclassmen, I hung out with a lot of older folks my whole life. And, you know, I just learned from their mistakes, and I learned from my mistakes. And whenever I went back and did something similar, you know, I always looked back and was like, okay, I probably shouldn't do that the same way, because, you know, I'll probably end up in the same place. But no, because I don't let my past failures dictate what I do. So, you know, though past endeavors with what I want to do with my poetry maybe didn't pan out as much as I wanted to, you know, I definitely didn't stop trying. Probably took a little hiatus to get my mind right, but I never stopped trying.
Do you think some people's past, or maybe, you know, where they've grown up, their neighborhood, their environment, kind of makes them feel restricted as to, you know, what they can do or what goals and dreams they can set for themselves?
Well, especially in our community, yeah, there's a big problem with, you know, you come from a certain place and you get engrossed in the culture, and yeah, you come up in that community, but outside of that, you never grow. A lot of young men are out there, you know, doing things, you know, in gangs, selling drugs, you know, becoming figures in their community. But, you know, if you think about it, those kids can weigh grams and, you know, all of the things that, you know, most high school students can't do. And they do it with such preciseness. You know, you wonder, like, why didn't they become scientists? Why aren't they mathematicians? Why they could be doing something better with that talent than, you know, doing what they're doing now. So definitely the environment you grow up in, and even those who are privileged, you know, that have never gone through anything trying, that definitely hinders their ambition, because, you know, everything was handed to them. If everything's handed to you, you're not gonna want to work to go get it, get something that you really want, because you're waiting on it to be handed to you. You gotta go out and get things on your own. I mean, that's what the American dream is all about. And I mean, I know y'all heard the poem before. I might read it again today, but the American dream is all about, you know, going and get what you want.
Alright, I agree. I definitely think that the past, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to influence your future, but you do have to look back on it to determine how you're going to go about your future. So, With that being said, we're going to get into the next poem. This is called Keep Going. I'm learning to ignore the comments of my critics because none of them cowards have ever stepped to me. They're just spectators watching as I do my thing, fighting this never-ending battle to fulfill my purpose and my destiny. And if you ask them to do the same, they couldn't because they don't believe in their abilities. Their faith is small, much like their significance, yet their talk is big, infatuated with material things that make them look rich. But they're really broke, lonely beings, and I don't pity them. I go about my business jumping and leaping over every hindrance and constantly combating every statistic. I have not given them a reason to hate me. My assumption is they're intimidated because I've made moves and accomplished goals they're still trying to achieve. If only they were wise enough to join my team, I might counsel them and give them the guidance they need. But instead they slander my name, and now it's too late because I refuse to stop for anyone or anything. See, the sad part is I was once willing to lend a hand, and one day they might actually need me, but I'll be even further away basking in my success and my contributions as a member of society. See, unlike them, I refuse to be a human being whose life means absolutely nothing. Therefore, I'll continue on with my progress and take their nasty comments as hidden praise, because life has taught me that no matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. So they're just my motivation to keep going.
I mean, that poem was for the haters.
Yeah.
It sound like that poem was for the haters.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and shout out to the haters out there, because yeah, they are the reason why I have the drive that I have now, because people told me I couldn't do it. Because I take that as a personal challenge. And I asked my friend Mark, I asked Jared, if somebody tell me I can't do something, I'm going to go out and do it just because you told me I couldn't do it. I mean, especially if it's to benefit me, I definitely be like, oh, okay. Now I'm going to go get it because you said I can't get it. I mean, and that's been my problem and my greatest asset throughout my life is that people challenge me, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to go get it now. I'm going to go do it now just because you told me I can't. So.
Yeah, haters, they have a purpose. I learned that. Like, everybody has a purpose. Even hypocrites have a purpose. Like, hypocrites are around basically to remind you of what you never want to be. And haters are around to just, make sure you keep going. Make sure you keep doing your thing, because most haters are just spectators. They're not doing anything with their lives themselves, and they feel like they got to bring everybody else down to where they're at. But as long as you keep going, you're good. So, yeah, it was kind of for the haters. Yeah.
And, see, Jerica, I commend you for all the hard work that you do, because, though I've only known you for a year, I've just seen you grinding so hard in the sport you took. And I like that. And that made me just think about this poem that I wrote about this ambitious girl.
Okay.
That cause ambition is sexy to me. I mean, if I find a female that got ambition, whoo, man. If y'all out there, come holler at me. Hashtag the voice. Follow me on Twitter.
This is not blackpeoplemeet.com.
Alright. But let me read the poem. Ambitious girl. It was a cold winter night when you caught my eye, and I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna originally pass you by. I was trying to holler at your friend, but that night that all came to an end because I realized that any time not with you was misspent. It wasn't a big chest or thick thighs or voluminous hips. It was just the sweet music that slipped from your lips. That's when I knew that you would have me whipped. That night we did not share a kiss, we just talked, but it brought me into the same bliss. From then on, I knew something was about to be amiss. What turned me on was the brain on you. It was like sex to me, and I couldn't bear to abstain from you. But get a ring, I was going to put my chain on you. I was not intimidated by your independence. That's why I must be in attendance every time you achieve transcendence. You way above those other girls. You may not be pledging AKA, but I'ma still give you pearls. Because just watching you type of paper makes my toes curl. If we ever get together, I know I would love you for your ambition. Make sure keeping you happy will be my only mission. You can be the music, and I'll be your Titian. Let me be your Chris Angel and freak your mind. Let's act like vines get intertwined, because a more perfect match the world would never find. I'm just trying to get in your aspirations and help you exceed all your expectations and pass success down to the next generations. You appearing in my life is so auspicious. If me and you is wrong, then color me seditious, because I just can't help but love that you're so ambitious.
That's what's up. Well, let me just say, ambition, I look for that in men too. And if you got that, that's a good look. Um, but also, I appreciate the fact that you chose to write about ambition, like, and seeing that as a value, because most of the time dudes just be like, oh, I like her because she look good and all of this other crap. But you're like, no, I like you for your ambition, and I'm gonna even try to help you with that. So that's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, nobody want nobody else that's sitting on the couch, man. We
Yeah.
all watch them movies where the one of the people in the relationship just sit on the couch and don't do nothing. Then and the mate is just like, man, he no good or she no good, and the friends like, get rid of her. But hey, I keep it real ambitious, ladies. If you again, if you're trying to holler, hashtag the voice. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Let me know, holler at me, mention me, direct message me. I'm out there.
Stop. Nah, I forgot what I was about to say messing with you. Oh, what I was gonna say is, I think it's good in relationships where you can uplift each other and you can help each other accomplish your goals and dreams. It's good to, cake and hang out, chill and all that. But I think it's even better when you can recognize the goals that a person has and, try to support them in any way you can. So just make sure you're looking for that when you're looking for that significant other, that ambition, that motivation, because like hashtag the boy said, you don't want somebody that's just going to sit around and not do anything and, that's pretty content with being average. You don't want that.
I mean, I done talked to a lot of females, man. They was like, man, he got goals, but he not doing nothing about it. I'm like, man, well, I'm sitting right here. So,
Oh, God.
Go ahead, Drake. I'm gonna stop.
Alright, so this next poem is called Life, You Must Never Quit. It has two parts to it. I'm only going to read the first one for you guys today. And I've read this before. This is just saying, that there are many lessons that you learn in life. And, you gotta keep moving and you can't quit. So, there are many things I've learned in life. But the most important is this. You must love yourself first before you can love anyone else. You can't go around trying to help if you need it yourself. You can't always depend on money to give you wealth. You can't mend anyone else's heart if yours is aching with pain. You can't buy love because love is the one thing you won't gain. You can't win the race if you never attempt to run. You can't get sunburned if you never sit out in the sun. You can't walk by faith if you never believe. You can't have something that you're not ready to receive. You can't go by what's pleasing to the eye. You'll never become anything if there's no struggle in life. You can't increase your vocabulary if you never look up a word. You'll destroy good relationships if you rely on what you've heard. You can't float if you never get in the pool. You can't fix something if you don't have the proper tools. You can't climb the mountain if you're worried about its height. You can't lead someone else if you have no sight. You can't speak on the things you know nothing about. You're not truly trusting God if you still doubt. You can't always say the first thing that comes to your mind. You can't be cruel to those who are rare and hard to find. You can't start something and not finish it. You can't wear the shoes if they don't fit. Last but not least, no matter how difficult situations get, you must never quit.
I can't quit.
No.
I I like that though. I like that. Cause definitely you gotta go out there and get stuff. I mean, what is your outlook on failure in the growth of your ambition?
My outlook on failure. I mean, I feel like failure is, inevitable. But you can also do things to prevent failure. And I read something today. It was something like if you fail to plan, then you're preparing for failure. So I think that in order to prevent failure, you have to plan and you have to, really sit down and decide, what steps you're going to take in order to accomplish something. So, but I do think that failure kind of can also give you that boost that you need to, get back up and keep going and maybe try it a different way. So I do think that it's kind of critical in that process, or in dealing with your ambition, because it kind of encourages you and like, okay, you get back up, dust your shoulders off, and you can, move on from that. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay.
Really?
That's all right. I flashback to a leader real quick, my bad. I mean, what was the name of that movie? Romeo Never Dies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies, though, I wrote a poem off a movie. The Lottery Ticket, Bow Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Ice Cube was supposed to be like the next Friday.
Okay.
Didn't pan out though. I don't think everybody liked it. Hey, at the end though, he took a little money, he built up his community. And that made me want to write a poem about motivating for change.
Okay.
Cause we gotta be out here changing stuff.
I agree.
Let's change lives. If not for you, for the betterment of the community. Become more than just a resident, a victim of the very system in which you stand against, a rebel. Against sadness and poverty, you just do it. Like the Nike ad says, speak louder. Against all injustices, we will win. If only we get in the ring, become champion. Don't stop until the fat lady sings. You were not put here on this earth to just sit or stand right there. Get up. Stop complaining about welfare. Help out. Because we all fall on hard times. And if not you, who else will give a dime? It ain't about to come up. It's about something bigger, your family. No longer needs to worry about a trigger. It's time now that we stop living for the ice. We ought to see what it takes to change a life. A man's wealth is not measured at his bank, but is he helping others where they can't? You live here in this community, so do everything you can to make it shine. I'm not asking. I'm telling you. It's time to step up or we will bury you. So no matter what you do, whether it makes you rich or just cool, remember where you came from and give back. It's the least you can do.
Okay. Talking about that community service.
Oh, yeah.
So, how important is that to you personally? Like, what are some of the things that you've done maybe back home in St. Louis, to give back to your community?
Well, all my life it was instilled in me that I should, be involved in community service, be the change that I wanted to see in the world. I was involved in the church. I did a lot of. I was a youth superintendent at the church, sang in the choir. Eventually became one of the youth leaders in the church. I was in an organization called Top Teens of America. Shout out to TTA and the Top Ladies of Distinction, TLOD. And that definitely honed my ambition to become somebody. Because all throughout, I had to deal with other people that were my age that weren't exactly where I was at in my ambition and my drive to become better, to be more mature, to be, smarter, to learn. And it pushed me and the ladies and the teens around me pushed me to become basically what I am today. Especially when I got here on this campus, it just made me, that situation, with some things that I was watching on campus, and a couple of conversations with one of my good friends, Skyler. He basically told me that you can't just sit back and hope things gonna change on their own. You gotta go out there and do what you gotta do. That's why right now I'm the Vice President of the Black Student Union. That's why I'm highly involved in the Black Male Leaders Union, trying to get in the ethnic super promoters. I just do a lot because I wanna see other people come up. I wanna show other people that motivation, especially I'm working on this record label right now. I'm trying to bring people up that I know had that same ambition that I got, to live out their dreams, because that's what it's all about. Whether I make money on it or not, as long as I'm helping somebody live a dream, I feel like I've done my part on this earth, which is what I feel like I was sent here for, is to help other people become the best they can be, as well as become the best I can be, and take people to new heights. Because a lot of things I want to do, it involves gathering people that have ambition, that have a dream, and I want to pull them out of their situations where they feel like they're stuck. I want to pull them out of their situation and make them, and help them live their dream out. So. Oh, by the way, my record label is going to be called Grind on Dimes. So.
Okay. What was I gonna ask you? Oh, I know you wanted to mention some things about the black community. I guess AUNI. So if you wanted to like briefly touch on that and kind of, you know.
I mean, when I got here, the BSU, the Black Student Union, they were doing a lot. They did a lot during Black History Month, but there was nothing else other than that. And even then, there was nothing that instilled passion, that incited passion in I feel like in the black community on our campus. And my motivation for running for vice president and or president at the time was to get on the exec board and incite passion in the community that I knew I saw. There was a fire that I knew I saw that had to be lit, and brought to new heights. And I'm working on it now. It's a hard process. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was just going to get on there and everybody's going to be like, man, we're going to rally behind you. But no, some people, don't really like my leadership style because I'm a very blunt person. So, and I don't like to wait for people who are wasting time because they don't want to realize what's right in front of them. So right now, I'm working with the exec board. We trying to do a lot of things. That's why we had an open mic night, because I want to push people to get up there on stage and show their talent, live out, hopefully through, I don't know, because a lot of people, Justin Bieber, a lot of people got famous off of YouTube. So maybe somebody, videotaping their performance, they got connected, or they put it on YouTube. Somebody watching, they're like, man, I need to sign that person, or I need to meet that person, because what they doing, I could use. So that's just what I do, and I definitely promote other people outside of outside of my college community to do things as well. Because coming November 30th, we have Explicit, the poet from St. Louis. He's from my hometown, and Arvin Mitchell, a comedian who came up as well from St. Louis, and he came up through a couple of TV shows, just pure ambition. Because I like that. I appreciate that. I support other people who have ambition and around me, and I keep them around me. My circle of friends, and you can't be my friend if you ain't got no ambition.
Yeah. And shout out to Explicit once again. I see on Twitter he just be everywhere doing the spoken word and poetry slams and all of that. And like he making a living off of that. He traveling all around the world, and like that's the level I'm trying to be on. Like I want to do that. So shout out to him again. This next poem I actually wrote for the diverse students, I guess you could say, AUNI. I forgot what event it was, but Celeste put on an event just to acknowledge multicultural students, and so I wrote this for them and read it there. It's called No Limits, Endless Possibilities. Climbing mountains of stereotypes, treading through valleys of racism, discrimination, and white privilege, leaping over statistics and prevailing against ignorance, I'm honored to stand among you unwavering examples of resilience. Through crying eyes and oftentimes a weary mind, you've maintained your momentum and held on firmly to your vision, allowing nothing to be a hindrance and everything to be a lesson learned for your continuance. You've pressed towards your goal, refusing to be boggled down by limits, ignoring critics, choosing to utilize every minute and approaching every task with an excellent spirit. You've worked twice as hard, knocking down barriers, increasing standards, forcing others to get with it. With commitment and integrity, you've made an imprint on this campus, proving on this day that you are a worthy recipient. And today I acknowledge you with respect and admiration, applauding your fearlessness, reminding you that this is only the beginning and that your possibilities are endless.
Snaps, 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 snaps. Man, I heard that poem live when she did it, because I organized the event. It was the multicultural, what was it? I don't remember the name. This year it'd be called the Panther Image Awards. It'll be at the end of the semester, end of the spring semester. And it's basically honoring all those on campus who have, pushed to do great things who are internships, got jobs already, graduated, on the dean's list, all that, because we want to celebrate when people are doing exactly what they came here to do, which is to graduate, which is to make good grades. I mean, and you know, I personally, I believe college is a good thing, but it's not necessarily needed to get to the success that you want. It's all inside of you. So if you have the ambition, I mean, if you don't have the money to be here and you don't like it being on the college campus anymore, go out and learn the things on your own. Go out and buy these books, go out and rent them from the library, wherever. But as long as you keep that ambition, you still learn.
Yeah.
And it may not be the route that your parents might want you to take. It may not be the route that that your family might want you to take. Period. Your friends. But if it's the right route for you, then take it. Because college ain't for everybody. I'm not gonna sit on the show and tell you that college is for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
College is an experience that should be experienced by everybody. Because even some of the greatest rappers out there are like, man, I wish I had experienced college. Because it does give you an opportunity to meet people and become who shape who you will be later on in life. But it's if you, as long as you have the ambition to learn what you want to learn about what you want to do in your life, then you'll be fine. And actually, at that same event, I performed a poem called "American Dream." I'm sure many of you have heard it already, but I'll read it again just because. But I know y'all have heard it before because I read it on another show here on KBBG. But here we go. I'm dreaming in America, so that makes me an American dreamer. But does that mean I'll reach the American dream? Just thinking about the matter just makes me want to scream, because it seems like I'm teetering instead of balancing on this beam. From day one, I knew I was born for something, but for the life of me, I can't identify that one thing. Maybe I'm here to understand why the cage bird sings, but I just can't seem to find this song on Bing. But I do know he sings the songs of ambition that's been put to the test by the human condition. His song exceeds the dreams of American tradition. He wants no apple pie on the windowsill. A white picket fence will bring him no thrill. He'll be happy as long as his 16-year-old daughter stays on the pill and keeps a watch so she'll never be late, because if she is, her boyfriend he will have to kill. Somehow, though, that doesn't fit into his destiny. All he wants to do is achieve the best in him, to dream his own dream. Now that's the key. The dream he dreams is not defined by his location. Neither is it defined by his vocation, but instead by his internal implication. The ability to dream a dream where things are always as good as they seem. You have no opposition because everyone is on your team. Now I know why the cage bird sings, why his voice rings. He wants to write that was once only afforded to kings. When he's talking freedom of speech, he wants freedom to dream.
Right. That's what's up. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Yeah, I've heard that poem a couple of times, and I think I learned something or take something from it each time. But I really like that, and I think the American dream is basically just turning nothing into something, and learning to change your circumstances or your situation, regardless of what anybody says. So, yeah. We are actually going to take a break, and we will be back with you shortly. All right, we are back with Poetically Speaking. Once again, I'm your host, Jerica Crawford. Twitter name, Shy Poet, Miss JC, and I have my host with me.
Oh, hashtag the voice is here.
You're so dramatic. So you got something you want to read? What was that about?
I don't know. That was an ambition noise. Yeah, I got a little something. This is what I was writing the other day when you called me.
Okay.
It's called Everything I Am. I wrote it to the Everything I Am beat by Kanye West.
How'd it go?
Everything I'm not, everything I am. Yeah, listen to it, go. I listen to it.
I will.
I never thought I'd be here, I never thought I'd be shedding such a proud tear, but yet those are my eyes welling in the mirror. My whole life failure was my only fear. Now I'm heading straight for success like headlights to a deer. Oh, but what a journey it was, because instead of a fast car, I was riding a bus. And the road was bumpy, which was just my luck. But I rode along picking people up along the way without a fuss. I had no problem bringing others along for the ride, as long as they stayed on my side of town, and when they got in, they stayed buckled down, and when the cops rolled up, they didn't make a sound. Because they said too much, then I had to turn back around. It was like my success was illegal contraband, and I got off the bus and ran. Dyed my work tan so that if anyone looked, they would think I was just carrying sand. I eventually caught up to the bus though. Without me, it moves kind of slow. It ran on ambition, and I guess the fuel was low. I got back on the bus and we went a little farther. I laid my head back and flashed back to my father, and I was just a gleam in his eye as he looked in the mirror and straightened his tie. Fast forward to the day I first saw the light, before I realized what was wrong or right, before I realized that it would be the world that I would have to fight. I was born into the fire and baptized in the water. The evil died in me that day. I guess you can call me a martyr. The coach called me and told me I'd be a starter, but I wasn't quite ready. But yet I rose up like Vince Carter. But as I slowly erected, things just got harder. It seemed like no matter how high I jumped, I couldn't reach the bar. And no matter how accurate I was, I couldn't make par. I just wanted to be a star, one of those dudes riding around in a fancy car, or ride away on my own plane that would take me far away from the life that killed my first love. Me and average just didn't fit like OJ's gloves. I always knew I was destined for more, because I was told by the one up above that it is my time. And though I was going through some hard times, I started to grind on dimes and kept writing down these rhymes, and things kept getting easier with each line. Now I find myself here in this place, standing above the world with the belt on my waist. People calling me to leave, but I'm in no haste as I bask in the moment, because I've become an icon now like Stonehenge. I plan on winning until my casket is sealed. I want to be a symbol to the world that I stand for what's real. I got the heart of a lion with the appearance of a lamb, navigating these waters hoping nothing sticks like Pam. I'm hard-headed, that's why I'm a fan of the Rams. Turns out everything I am made me everything I am.
Alright. I just forgot that line that I really enjoyed. Something about the heart of a lion with the appearance of a lamb. That's some good imagery. You know, and I took from that this whole idea of uplifting others or taking others along for the journey after you've, you know, got to where you needed to be. And I think that's really important. Some people get so selfish. They make it and then they act like, you know, they forget where they from, or that there's a duty to also help others. So I like that. I like that you mentioned that in your once again, good imagery as usual.
Hey, this is what I do. I mean, I perfected my craft.
You're so cocky. It's ridiculous. But anyway,
It's confident when you got that ambition. You just become confident in what you do.
You like on the edge of cockiness and confidence. Yeah. Anyway.
I told the line well. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. So I wrote a poem
Just trying to hold me back.
Whatever. Anyway, stop interrupting me. I wrote a poem to my little brother. You know, basically trying to encourage him. So this is inspired by one of Langston Hughes' poems. Actually, his is called Mother to Son, and mine is called Sister to Brother. It says, "Little bro, I must tell you, life isn't meant to be easy. There's supposed to be bumps in the road, potholes and detours, dark valleys and roller coasters that make you queasy, as well as interrupted plans and long suffering. But that doesn't mean that you take the back seat. No, that doesn't mean you give up and let others live your dreams. So work hard, little bro. Don't you become an idle adult who can't stand on his own. Don't let your life or our mother's work be in vain. And remember that God always makes a way, but life isn't meant to be easy."
Life ain't meant to be easy.
Sure.
Life ain't fair.
I ain't say all that, but I mean it ain't, but is it supposed to be? But yeah, anyway, that was for my little brother.
It's easy like Sunday morning.
You know, he be having his tough times. He's all the way in Cali without me. I gotta go visit. But yeah, I just want to encourage him and pretty much anybody else to just, you know, keep it moving and don't become idle, you know. Keep it moving. As long as you're doing something, you're good. Don't just sit around and mope and complain, because like I said, life is not meant to be easy, and we're never prepared for some of the tests, you know, that come along with life, but you just gotta keep moving, keep going. So
Yeah, I got a little saying, you know, that I put on Twitter a long time ago, about a month ago. It goes, if you ain't grinding, then you sleeping. Don't mess around and fall into a coma.
really.
Yeah. When you're a coma, that's it. That's it. You just laying there. You're not doing nothing. You just there. And no disrespect to any people that have had family members that were in a coma, but they basically become a burden because they can't do anything on their own. They're just a mass laying in a bed. Don't be that person. I mean, you can take a little cat nap. You know, get you some rest in there. You know, I don't want you. You know, you can't grind if you ain't operating. You're gonna fall into a coma. You're gonna have seizures like Rick Ross and Lil Wayne on the plane. Nobody want that to happen to you.
Really?
You know, get your rest. But don't slip into a coma. Don't become comatose in your grind. Because once you become comatose, that's it. You're done.
And never be content with where you are. Like, there's always another level. So don't get lazy and be like, oh, I've arrived. No, there's always more to do. And if you feel like you've done what you need to do, then, like we said, uplift somebody else, help somebody else out. So
I mean, because honestly, I feel like I'm the best poet out there, but hey, I'm still trying to perfect this thing.
I don't know about all that.
Whoa.
But
I mean, I feel like.
I mean, that's great though. You have that confidence. I would hate for you to not have that confidence, because if you don't believe in yourself, then I'm not gonna believe you.
Yeah, don't let
So
the
that's
haters shut
great.
down your dreams,
Yeah.
Jerica.
I ain't shutting down your dreams. I'm just saying, you know.
Nah, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm the best poet out there, you know. But I always see how I can make things better. You know, that's why I got my producer Mark C. You know, whenever I'm in the studio and I mess up, he's like, Matt, stop. No, I'm not gonna let you just put that out there. I know it's a dope poem, but you need to hear every word, and you need to get better with everything that you do. I mean, actually, a young lady walked up to me and showed me her background, her phone that she had created, and she's like, "Isn't it beautiful?" I was like, "It's alright." And she's like, well, "Why would you say that?" I was like, "Because I know you can do better. Because if I tell you that it's great, then you probably won't achieve to do anything better." So, you know, it took, because even with my poetry, it took Skylar to tell me, "Hey, Matt, you know, your poems are good, but they're not at the place they need to be. They could be much better. You're not taking your time in writing." I was like, all right. So, I mean, I just started perfecting my grind. You got to perfect your grind out here. You know, you can, whatever you're doing, you can always do better. Because there's always going to be somebody out there that's doing better than you, that has more skills than you. If you ask LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, you know, how they got so good is because they were so competitive. They was like, no, I would not allow anybody to be better than me on this court.
Yeah, just to go off of that, basically you gotta be open to criticism. And you gotta eliminate those yes men, those people who just want to tell you yes regardless. They know you suck, but because they're your friend or because they don't want to hurt your feelings, they just telling you yes. Like, please eliminate those people. I don't want no yes men around me. I want you to tell me if my poetry sucks. Please tell me. If I need to, like, just chill out with this show,
Hold on, public service
please
announcement.
tell me.
Public service announcement. All those fans of Little B, all those yes men of Little B, all y'all. Y'all need to take y'all man to the side and be like, look. This ain't working for you, bruh. You not a rapper. You can't stay on beat. I mean, we've been tolerating it for a while. You just putting out all these mixtapes and you're not going nowhere. Nobody's gonna sign you because you're trash.
Oh, yeah.
Public service announcement.
And lastly,